Hey everyone, and welcome to our Tutorial Tuesday show for today, where we will be going over OBS Virtual Cam and how to use that for the Happs Studio. Welcome. We got Brof is in the building. Lauren, good seeing you. I just saw your music earlier today. It's great to see you here. Everyone joining in. Hello, Rebecca. Hello, Intuitive DI. Good to see you all, and welcome to the tutorial for today. So the main thing that we're going to be going over is the OBS Virtual Cam setup. But before we do that, I just wanted to give you a quick preview of what the new guest studio session looks like here. So when someone joins a broadcast that isn't set up as a director, this is the new studio session that you will be seeing. So you can already see some differences. So you'll see that in the far left, there's no settings tab there. It's just the comments. In the center, it's just the preview, the program window. There's no layout changes. There's no ability to invite users. And then you'll see in the far right, there's no ability to upload any content. So it's very, very simple. So this is for the desktop studio, and this is what you can expect to see if you join a broadcast as a guest and the host didn't select you to be a director. Cool. Alrighty. I hope that all makes sense. That's what that's going to look like on that front. So let's get right into the OBS Virtual Cam tutorial. So to kind of explain the tutorial, there's a few steps that you have to do prior to getting to what I'm going to be showing. The main thing is that you have to download OBS to your desktop computer. So make sure, for those of you that want to use OBS, to download OBS onto your computer and make sure that that's ready to go. The second thing is, once you, I'm not using OBS yet, Jeff's Journey. Once you have OBS downloaded, you want to quit Google Chrome completely, open OBS, start virtual camera in OBS, and I'll show you exactly where you go to do that. And then once OBS Virtual Camera has been started, you then go ahead and open Google Chrome again on that side. So make sure that you take those steps, that once you download and launch OBS Virtual Cam, you have to close Google Chrome entirely and then quit it, or close, just make sure it's closed entirely, then re-upload it, reopen Google Chrome with OBS Virtual Cam already running. That only has to happen the first time. The very first time that you do this, that's what has to happen. Beyond that, you're okay and you should be good to go. So without further ado, I'm actually going to screen share what OBS looks like first, and then I'll go into explaining how that moves over to the studio session. All right, so there's a question, does OBS allow green screen? Yes, OBS, you can set up green screen through their side. All right, so this is what OBS looks like. Let me just change the framing a little bit here so that it looks better. There we go. So now you can see the whole thing. So here we are. This is OBS, very simple, as you can see. And there's a couple of things that you need to know here. And I'm just going to go from left to right and then go into the Start Virtual Camera. From left to right, you'll see that you have the ability to set scenes. This gives you the ability to easily transition from one setup to another. So if I had this setup here, with Spider-Man, Cyclist, and Darth Vader, and myself down here in the center, I can easily switch from that to this by just simply selecting the scene change. So that's like if you're on the Happs Studio and you want to go to a separate full screen. That's essentially what it's doing. All right, so I'm going to go back to this scene, and then to the right of that, you have your sources. So this is where OBS gets a little bit complicated for those of you that are interested in doing this. Santa of Rio Rancho has a really good comment in regards to this. YouTube has a lot of tutorials on this. But the main thing that you'll need is to make sure that you add your webcam. So you go to this plus button, you want to add your audio input capture, and you want to add your camera, which in this situation, it's called the video capture device. So again, audio input capture, video capture device, and then those are the two main steps that you'll need to take to ensure that OBS is gathering your webcam and your microphone. Alrighty, to the right of that, you have a mixer, very similar to what you see in Happs. And then finally, when you get over to this side, you have Start Virtual Camera. And this is important because you need to press this button in order to actually activate this scene and sequence for Chrome to read it and launch it. So what does that mean? I'm going to go ahead and pause this screen share for a second. Bear with me. And then we're going to go back to this scene. And I'm going to screen share my whole window so that you all can see exactly what I'm doing. Alrighty, so this is the whole window now. So we got OBS over here and the Happs Studio on the left. So in the Happs Studio, under mic cam settings, you want to select your video camera as OBS Virtual Cam. But what happens when you do that and you don't have Virtual Cam turned on in OBS is this, right? So there's nothing there. And so in order to change that, you go back to OBS, and I will turn on screen share again. There we go. So go to OBS, hit Start Virtual Camera, and so you'll see that then goes to a lighter gray and it switches to Stop Virtual Camera. And if I activate my screen in full screen so you can see, now you're actually getting this template from OBS in full screen. And if I change that to the scene 1, it changes automatically here. So that's pretty much all you need to know about OBS Virtual Cam. If you want to get into the nitty-gritty of green screen, first of all, you need a green screen. You need to make sure you light it properly. There's plenty of tutorials on that. And then you need to go through OBS and make sure that you add the setting for green screen, because it won't just automatically do it. You still have to do some plug and play on that front. So simple as that. That's how OBS Virtual Cam works with Happs Broadcast Studio. Any questions? And I'm now looking over here instead of at the camera. There we go. We got some people helping each other out. Tim David saying, I have Streamlabs, collecting dust on my desktop. I don't like it. Wait, it's that simple? Do you just have to install a driver, or is that just Windows? I'm running this on Mac OS, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, OBS can also run on Windows. You don't need any sort of crazy programs. You just need to make sure that you download OBS to your computer device. So do I have 2 cameras running right now? I do not have 2 cameras running right now. I only have my FaceTime webcam camera running. The HD camera that I normally use, so if I switch this back to HD cam here, this is what I normally use. But because I've switched to OBS, when I switch to OBS Virtual Cam, this camera turns off because OBS is actually using my built-in laptop camera. I can change that, but for now it's set up that way and I don't really want to go through the whole process. Can this be accessed from the app and plug in the stream source? No. So the mobile app, you cannot use OBS. OBS Virtual Cam is specifically only going to work in the desktop broadcast studio. So if you go live from the phone, the only way that you would be able to make this work is if you subsequently have a computer running your whole broadcast and OBS, and your phone is somehow the camera input. That would be really the only way. Yeah, Helen, that's a really good point. One of the things I love about Happs is that the studio is so comprehensive. You don't need to learn OBS. That is a really great point. But still, to that end, there's a lot of things that OBS does allow you to do, like have 2 photos up and myself. But let me show you how you can do that in Happs as well. So I'm going to turn off OBS Virtual Cam. I'm going to turn on my normal camera, and I'm going to do something similar as to this. And so give me 1 second as I do that. You're going to see it live. All right, so let's stop camera, my cam. Let's go back to HD. All right, so then good there. Turn off full screen. This is number 1. This is number 3. Go to grid. And there you go. Similar. Not entirely the same, right? But very similar to what we're getting on that front. Oops, wrong camera. Here we go. Boom. Right? Very, very similar to what OBS Virtual Cam is doing. And this is all native to Happs, so you don't have to worry about OBS crashing and turning off and the virtual cam stopping and then causing a blank. And yes, Tim, you can build a lot in OBS. You can build a virtual set. You can build more than one scene. So if you have, if you're a musician and you want to be singing in front of Times Square, and then you want to sing in front of the Santa Monica Pier, you can do so by just simply clicking. Yes, there is currently no green screen within Happs Studio, which is another reason why you would want to use OBS. So yeah, different topic. How can you make it so that you can see the Facebook comments name when they make a comment to my stream? So I need to get the official information here and have it written down and stapled to my desk because this is really important. But essentially what's happening is Facebook is very complicated when it comes to the external connection. One, if you're live broadcasting to a public Facebook page, that is the only situation in which you will see all of the comments and the name of the commenter. Again, if you're broadcasting to a public Facebook page, that is the only situation where you will see the full name and profile, and pretty much the full name and that it's Facebook comment. If you're broadcasting to a private group, you are not going to see comments coming from Facebook. If you broadcast to your private profile and you're only broadcasting and you're broadcasting to your profile and you have the broadcast post set to private, that is when you will see Facebook user or anonymous Facebook user in the comment section. So how do you change all of this? When you first connect your Facebook, on the Happs side, it asks you about the permissions that you want to give Happs. So when you're giving those permissions, you have to make sure that, you have to make sure that you set it to public and that you're live broadcasting to a public Facebook page. If you're broadcasting to a group, that's a very different situation. And you'll want to make sure that you probably have that Facebook group live broadcast open in a different tab. It happened to my Facebook profile, which is public. I would make sure that when you connected Facebook, that you made sure that you said that Happs post to your Facebook account will also be public and not set to friends only or private. Just double check that, and if you're still having issues, you can email us at contact@happs.tv and we can look into this further. Or I can clarify the information better because I'm pretty sure I got something wrong, and then that way we can move forward and fix that. Unrelated, but I love seeing the ads for Happs on Facebook. Glad to hear it, Carrie. So those are just very early stages and just tests. Hopefully in the near future, we'll have more of that promotion stuff going out to other platforms. But alrighty, go ahead. Can you screen share without OBS? Yeah, that's what I've been doing this whole time. So if I go back to my screen share, full screen, this is screen share through present on Happs. There's a present button in the Happs Studio that you can then screen share from. So you don't need OBS to screen share. There's my screen share. Oh, no, there's my screen share. Wait, yeah, there. There's my screen share. And that's within the Happs Studio, Lauren. Ah, yay, fellow ukulele players, unite. Yeah, Ella does an amazing late night show sometimes with her ukulele playing. Alrighty, so if there's no more questions about OBS and the Happs Studio, I'm going to go ahead and end this broadcast today, and we will see you all tomorrow for a Happs takeover. And I believe this takeover is going to be hosted by Lost TV, an awesome artist here and a member of the Happs community who also hosts a lot of other artists on his shows. So Lost TV will be taking over the Happs account tomorrow. I think it's going to be live at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, but check to make sure when we schedule the post on that timing. Yes, it will be much earlier than normal, so keep an eye out for that. For those of you that are new to Happs, we are live every day except for Thursday here on this Happs account. Mondays, we do a community update and Q&A. On Tuesdays, we do this, Tutorial Tuesday. On Wednesdays, we do takeovers of the Happs account. And if you have a takeover idea where you want to collaborate with other users and take over the Happs account, go ahead and email us that idea, contact@happs.tv. We'll review it and let you know if it's approved, and then we'll get it scheduled and the timing set up, etc. And then on Fridays, we do Broadcast of the Week show where we showcase some of the nominated broadcasts that were nominated by other Happs members, and then those that took part of the theme of the week, which for this week is Pride. So if you want to get on that Broadcast of the Week show, go live with the hashtag #HappsPride, and then that'll get you on the show. So thank you so much for joining and for all of the great questions. We will see you all tomorrow during that takeover for Lost TV, a lot earlier than usual, and then again on Friday. Thanks, everyone. Peter's not here, so I don't know if there's going to be an end credits scene. Dun dun dun. Will there? Won't there? Oh, hi, Louise. Cheerio, everyone.